Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's day 53 of day 54, actually, day 54 of 60-day reading challenge, and we are reading this book, Getting Things Done by David Allen, which is the art of stress-free productivity. And honestly speaking, guys, at this point of time in my life, I need the productivity a lot because I am, dividing my attention on a different kind of projects, which is really important for me and my life as well. So that's why I need the productivity, and I think this book will be really helpful to for me to achieve this. And yeah, for that, this is the book that I'm reading, that is Getting Things Done, and it is one of the best book in productivity if you talk about it. So let's see what are the things that we get here from this book today. And yesterday it was an awesome read, guys, because guys, when I read the book related to productivity, my mood actually started changing. So you might have seen that if you're watching these videos, you may notice that. So yeah, I quite like this. And let me just check whether this video is streaming on each and every platform or not. So this video is basically streaming on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. So these are the four platforms that this video is actually streaming on. Let me just check. Okay, it's not day 54, guys, it's day 53. Honestly speaking, I guess I sometimes get confused. The reason is that I'm not keeping track of this kind of things, like how many days I have been reading or anything like that, because it doesn't really matter. I'm reading, that's something that does matter, right? So yeah, without any further ado, let's start reading from the chapter 2 today. And we'll see how many pages that we need to read today. That's a very important thing, because as a ritual I do it. And I highly recommend that you never count the page, how many pages you're going to read today, until and unless you have a target set that you're going to read only 5 pages, 10 pages, and so on. Otherwise, please do not check. Okay, where is the index, man? Yeah. So 27 to 58, it's around 30 pages, guys, that I need to read today. So without any further ado, let's get start reading. Okay, so yeah, today I have changed a little bit of the way that how the how this thing looks in the image. So I'm just gonna focus it on the I think it's autofocus. I think it's on autofocus, but I can see that it's not really focusing really well on the book itself. So I'll be clicking on the focus mode, and I will be back in a sec, guys. So don't worry about that. Till then, enjoy some music. So guys, I'm back again, and honestly speaking, this tripod makes my life really easy for this kind of overhead shots. So yeah, let's just read then without wasting more time. Okay. David Allen actually talks about 5 steps to mastering your workflow, that every day that we do all the stuff to improve that. There are 5 steps that you can blindly follow to make your life productive. So the first so these 5 steps are: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. So let me break it down for you. So capture is all about all the tasks that is coming on your head, all the thoughts that you're coming on your head, that you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to celebrate your assistant's birthday, maybe your loved one's birthday, and maybe some friends are coming over to your place, and these are the things that you need to organize. And all these things are in your head, so you just capture this thing. So that's the first step. Second, you clarify that what is each item means. Suppose you have written that celebrate assistant's birthday, or prepare for my friend who is coming over this Tuesday. So what are the things that you're going to prepare for, right? So you need to clarify that, okay, I need this, I may need I may need some new food that she really likes to eat. I may need to order a cake, and I may need to schedule it with the cake company. And after that you need to organize, right? So you need to organize the results. Okay, these are the way of there might be like multiple steps that you go through when you do this. So you need to organize the results, that okay, these are the things that I will be doing one after another, right? And then you need to reflect on it, right? So reflection is very important, guys. If you just organize all this stuff, if you reach until step 3, you need to reflect on it. You need to make yourself remember that you need to do that, right? So that is the reflection. David Allen says that a lot of people go through all these phases at some point, but they don't complete one step after another. So that's the problem, right? So the problem is like some people are like there who capture a lot of things. Like maybe you are a person who is taking notes on his mobile phone, and if you write everything in your post-it notes, you put anything in your fridge, and all of the excuse me, guys, all of these things are like filled with all these notes and everything. You do capture obviously, but you don't clarify that what you need to do. So some people are there who actually does clarify, but they don't they organize these results, that okay, I need to do this after that, I need to do that after that. So there is no organization about this. So even some people who has organization, like they add context that okay, if I'm at home, I'm gonna do this, if I'm going to the shopping mall, then I'm gonna purchase this. So maybe there are person who actually organize this as well, but they don't reflect on it. So suppose you need to ask your boss for the salary increment of yours, but you don't have, maybe you have organized everything as well, but you don't access all the information that you have, right? So you're not checking the correct thing at the correct place. So when you are in the office, you might be checking in your calendar or the to-do list that you need to ask your boss about the salary increment, right? So that's how you forgot to reflect on it. So if you don't reflect on it, there is no engagement. Engagement is all about starting the work, starting the action itself, right? And David Allen gives a nice analogy about this. Is he says that it's not like that he's saying these things randomly. We as a human being actually does like to, or actually we do work like this when we need to get things done. Okay, so here is here is this example. So suppose your friends are going to come over to your place, and your kitchen is like total mess. So what is the first thing that you're going to do? You're going to look at each and everything in your kitchen and see that which thing belongs to where. So this is the first step, that is capture. So you're capturing each and everything, that where it needs to be, where that needs to be. So you just do the capture part here, right? After that, you determine whether to what to keep and what to throw away. So you just clarify things. Okay, these are the things I need in my kitchen, and this is the thing that I don't need in my kitchen. So that is the clarify. Then you put things where they need to go. So yeah, suppose something needs to go to the refrigerator, something needs to go to the garbage, and something needs to go to the sink. Then that is the step where you organize. So this is the organization, right? Then you check your recipe book along with ingredients and utensils you have, right? So maybe you need to you are going to cook some pav bhaji maybe. So it's an Indian dish if you don't know. So so you're checking your recipe book, or maybe the recipe book is in your head itself. Because you like to keep everything in your head. So, or maybe you're pro at this, so that's why you're just checking your recipe, and you're just seeing that whether your utensils are right, and you just bring it back. So this is the reflection, and then you put the butter on that pen, and then you start working. So that's when the engagement actually starts. So that's engaged, right? Okay, so yeah, this is the way we actually like to work on each and every task, guys. So this is the general way we do. And so I can see there is some problem with the okay. Okay, so these are the 5 steps he will be going in depth on the next chapters. So yeah, so this is the let me just clarify again what I have here. Says that we as a person go through some person go through different phases. And honestly speaking, guys, I go up to the phase of capture, clarify, and organize. So I do capture, I do sometime honestly speaking, sometime I don't capture because this system does not work for me, and the reason is only me. It's not like that the system is efficient. System is inefficient, it does not mean like that. I don't actually work on it because I don't get any better result, because I don't follow the system correctly. So yeah, here is the problem. I do capture, I do clarify when I do capture, right? When I do clarify, then I do organize as well. Okay, these are the tasks that I needs to be done, these are the subtasks that I need to be doing. But after that, I just don't reflect on it. Okay, I just don't look at my calendar, I just don't look at my to-do list, what to do. And this creates the whole mess on it, and I just, because I don't get any result out of it, I don't repeat the process, right? So and for that reason I capture very less in today. Previously I used to take a lot of notes, and I used to capture a lot, and I need to even organize this and clarify and organize this as well. But some steps were missing. I was not really I was not clarifying that much. So yeah, that was my problem. So I think I will be fixing all this problem, because I will be taking a lot of notes. I will be taking capturing a lot of things. So here he says a very nice thing, that people like to do all of this step all together. See, as a human being, it's not really possible to like sit just sit there and take capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and start working, right? It's not really possible, because the thing, think about it, if you really need to do all of this thing, it's not really an easy task. So if you have read the book Atomic Habits, we as a human being repeat the task that is easy for us, right? So if this process is tough for us, right, just writing down our to-do list is it if it is, and organizing our calendar, if it is so much tough, then why should we do it in the future, right? So even if the rewards are good, if it is tough, and chances are we are not going to repeat it. So here is the problem. He says that people don't really do this because they because people try to do all of this stuff in a single go, which is not really recommended. David Allen says that maybe he do it in a totally different way. He do it whenever whatever is necessary. Suppose he's in a mode where he wants to just brainstorm and just collect each and everything, so he then collect. Sometime when he just sitting and he just wants to clarify things, that okay, these are the things that I need to be doing, he does that. And maybe he came from a long trip, and he has collected and collected and clarified a lot of things, and then he needs to organize that, and then he does the organization there. So he works like this, in a chunk. You don't need to just sit there and do everything in a one go. Suppose you are in a mode of brainstorm, you're just putting each and every task that is on your head, that is open ended, and just putting everything in the system. So that does work, right? So let's just read it. Start from capture. That how the I really need to be good at capture, I think, because honestly speaking, guys, my capturing capability is like totally gone, because I am not capturing a lot of things recently. So yeah, I need to really go back to it. Guys, I will be back in a minute. So yeah. So guys, I'm back again, and let's just read again. The point of this capture is like we as a human being keep each and everything in our head. So it's very important that you capture all of the things, because otherwise it is going to take up mental energy of yours. So it's really important that you keep capturing each and everything that is open-ended. So open-ended is all the things that is keep going on in your head, and somewhere in your head it's there, but you need to do that task. Maybe there are some remote batteries that you need to change. There are some small gadgets that is lying out there broken in your home, but you don't know what to do with it. It takes up a lot of mental energy of yours. So the first step is to capture each and everything that you really need to do in your life. So it's the first step of the organization, I would say. So here I want to read an amazing quote which is given here. A task left undone remains undone in two places: at the actual location of the task and inside your head. So these are the two places the task is actually undone. Incomplete tasks in your head consume the energy of your attention as they grow at your conscience. So it's really important that you capture this, get it out of your head. So the task is still incomplete, but it is incomplete at its own place. It's not incomplete in your head. Okay, you have an tool to actually make you remember that, okay, you need to do that task. It is not your head, right? So it's the quote is by Brahma Kumaris. I haven't heard about him, so I really, like when I, read any new names, that makes me wonder that, okay, I don't know him. Okay. There are a lot of people that we don't know in our lives, guys. So it's okay, I guess. Previously, I used to, freak out that, okay, how do I don't know that author? Why I did not heard about this author, right? So that used to happen with me a lot. Okay, so it's all about like. Collect each and everything that is on your head to a system. Okay, that's it. So yeah, there's the capture tools that we're going to read about, and I will tell you that what are the tools that you can be using, right? David Allen actually gives like some ways to actually take, capture your all the things that is going on in your mind, right? So first is like physical in tray, which I honestly speak most of you won't be using. Like there is some plastic or leather type of tray which is there. You can like put your mail, magazines, meeting notes, and each and everything. Honestly speaking, guys, a lot of people maybe some people who is using this legacy method to do this, but a lot of you guys won't be doing this, I guess. A lot of people but use this second type of thing that is called the paper based note taking. A lot of people really like to take notes. Some random thoughts that is coming to your mind, so they just go back to their notebook and just write it down. Okay, so some people really like this kind of thing, like there are open lips and you can write each and everything that is there on your head. Some people really like this. I honestly speak, guys, I'm not really a big fan of like this kind of technology, this analog way of taking notes. I really believe in the it's not a belief, it's I really like to take up the like to do it in the digitally, because the thing is that if I do it digitally, there is a chances that I'm not going to lose it, and it's there with me because I carry my mobile phone each and everywhere. So chances are that it's going to be there with me. It's not going to be there in my room or somewhere I just forgot, right? So I can't do anything about it if I just forget to take this with me, right? So then email and text messaging is a way somebody do, because a lot of people's lives actually depend on the email only. They just spend a lot of time with the email. So in email there are a lot of things like filters and folders and all those things that you can do in the email. So you just use email as a kind of like a to-do list of yours, right? So yeah, these are the ways that you can actually capture, right? So the success factors for capturing, let's see what are the success factors. I think it is the most important thing, and that's the reason I almost don't do this kind of capturing. The reason is here, and I was like, wow, yeah, that can be a reason. So we as a human being, like to keep something in a different way. So let me just tell you what it is. So some people like do capture, but they capture like half or maybe more than half of the things in their to-do list, but they still keep some of the things in their head as well, because they can't really trust that system, and they think, okay, it is just a discrete system that is out there. Maybe it's just a to-do list, what to do about it, right? I need to keep something in my head as well. So you don't totally 100% trust on that system. So that's when the problem starts to happening, because you don't even trust your head, and you don't even trust on the capturing device that you're using, right? So then you are not going to get the motivation to actually do anything about it, right? Because you can't really trust that system. And here's the thing that I want to read, as it is from the book. Most people are relatively careless about these tools because they know they don't represent discrete whole system anyway. There is an incomplete set of things in their in-tray and incomplete set in their mind, and they are not getting a real payoff from either one. So their thinking goes, right? This collection tools should become part of your lifestyles. Yes, that's the thing I don't do. I think that is the thing I really need to integrate. I really need to integrate all of the different tools that is there to like capture and organize. I really need to keep them as my lifestyle, so I that's really important. So keep them close by, so no matter where you are, you can collect a potentially valuable thought. Think of them as being an indispensable as your toothbrush or your driver's license or your glasses, right? Because we don't we don't forget our toothbrushes, or maybe if we go somewhere, we purchase a new toothbrush, so it's like kind of like indispensable. You can't really get rid of this thing, right? So wherever you're carrying your ID card, so these are the things, these are indispensable. He said that make it your lifestyle, so wherever you're going, make sure your capturing device is with you, where you can see that all of the things are there, right? So it's really important. You can't really ignore the power of capturing, and you need to integrate it as your lifestyle, right? The sense of trust that nothing possibly useful will get lost will give you the freedom to have many more good ideas. So the moment you trust your capturing device, the moment you can trust that, okay, I can trust on it, so your head will be free of everything, right? So the moment your head will be free, you can have more ideas. So first you need to empty your glass, and it's really important. So the moment you trust that system, you can, whatever the ideas that is coming on your head, you can write it down, and you can just forget about it, right? So if your head is not carrying any new idea, it will generate new ideas more, right? So that's really important, that you don't carry those ideas in your head, and you trust the system that you use for the capturing. So there's the most valuable lesson that I got from this book yet, I would say. So yeah, I really like this till now. So guys, I'm taking a break for 2 minutes, and I will be back in 2 minutes. guys, I'm back again, and let's just read. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to minimize all the thing that is there working as your capturing location, like you are capturing on a different kind of place. So you stop using multiple places, try using less, so it's better. So less is the better, right? So yeah. Okay, and you need to empty those thing regularly as well. It's not like that you just can't, you're just putting each and everything there, but you're not emptying it. So it's really important that you empty those things that is there as working as your capturing device. So you actually empty your inboxes, if you call them, right? So here's a nice analogy that I really like. Not emptying your in tray. In tray is the thing that where you capture each and everything, right? Not emptying your in tray is like having garbage cans and mailboxes that no one ever dumps or deals with. You just have to keep buying new ones to hold on and eternally accumulating volume, right? So excuse me, guys. So it's really important that you empty your inbox or in tray, or whatever you call it, right? Wherever you just take each and everything, all the information that you collect, right? So I can see some problem with the streaming. I don't know why this happens recently. I guess it's working fine. Let me just check whether it's going well or not. Yeah, it's fine. I have to face this issue. Anyways, I hope that it will be fine. Let me just check once still, because otherwise I will be talking to no one. Excuse me, guys. Let me just check once. Okay, I can see each and every platform is online, but I don't know why it's I have no clue why this happens. Okay, anyways. Yeah, it's live. I can see each and every platform. Okay, no problem. So let's just read without thinking about all this thing, because if this is an issue, this is going to be fixed. And okay, my camera is also started to blow up. When things go wrong, it goes wrong, in a manner that where you can't really control anything. And let me just check. I will be back, guys. I'm back again, and I hope everything is you're seeing is good. And let's read then. Here is a beautiful thing I really like, which says that many people try to get organized, uh, but uh, make the mistake of doing it with incomplete batches of stuff. You can't organize what's incoming, right? You can only capture it and process it. So if something that is incoming, a new stuffs, new informations are coming in, you can't really organize this stuff in that moment, right? So it's not really possible, guys. If you like think about it, somebody is telling you you need to do all of this thing, and you are just capturing all of the stuff, and you're also trying to organize all this thing. It's not really possible. You can like take it and process it only, right? You can capture and process it. Instead, you organize the actions you will need to take based on the decisions you have made about what needs to be done. So that is totally different, right? uh, let's see what is there, right? And this is a diagram, which is a whole diagram that is, you see there, it's very important. I really like this diagram of GTD, which is the best, I think, right? All of the text that is there, you see, it's actually supports this diagram. So let me just go through this, because that's really super interesting, at least for me. So let me know whether you find this useful. Let me just zoom in into the screen that you see right now on here. I hope you are able to see this. I want to zoom in more actually, so that you see it very clearly. Okay, so I hope that you now able to see it very clearly. So let me just tell you what it is. So some stuff is there that is going on in your mind or wherever it is. So you just put it in your in basket, that is inbox or whatever you call it, this is your collection tool. So suppose I'm thinking about like celebrating my assistant birthday, maybe my mom's birthday, maybe my loved one's birthday, and plethora of things can be. Maybe I really need to fix my AC remote. Yeah, that's the same thing I have talked about yesterday. Okay, so this goes in basket, right? Then you ask that what is it? Is it actionable? So if this task is not actionable, you just trash it, or someday, or maybe it, or reference it. So someday is maybe like a tickler file, he called it. So it is like holding for review, maybe, and someday you do it, right? So maybe you want to watch a movie, right? So suppose you say that, okay, I want to watch the movie Mulan that is recently, comes to the Hotstar. It is by Disney, and I really want to watch this movie. So I'm putting this in my inbox saying that, okay, I want to watch the movie Mulan. But is it actionable? Not really now. Maybe it's not now, right? So I just say no. Then I can trash it. I can say, okay, I'm never going to watch Mulan in my life. Or I can do one thing called this someday or maybe. So someday or maybe is like I'm holding it for review. I may come back to it whenever I actually have time, or maybe I just want to review my someday or maybe list, right? So I just put it there, or maybe I can reference it. So whenever I require this, I may really can go back to it. So there are some quotes that I put sometime that, okay, I will be needing this I will be putting this on my video, but I don't do anything. These are just lying there in my inbox. So that is good for the reference. So I can put it on the reference folder and say that, okay, this is there for just for the reference. I will be needing this. I will be, I can use it on any video, but for the later purpose, right? So because it's not really actionable, right? Then if it is actionable, maybe your answer is like, okay, it's actionable. Then what you do? What's the next? You ask yourself that, what's the next action? So if you decide that, okay, this is the next action, right? Okay, so there is two things that can happen. One is like you can go for the project phase, and you can like make like multi-step projects, and you can make some project plans and all this stuff. That is review for action, right? So if it is a complex task that is going on in your mind, you convert it into a project, right? And if it is something that takes less than 2 minutes, if your answer is yes, will it take less than 2 minutes? If it is something that takes less than 2 minutes, do it just now, right? If it is not taking less than 2 minutes, you just delegate it or defer it, right? So if it is a task which is going to take more than 2 minutes, you either delegate it or defer it for just for the later time that you're going to see it, right? Delegate actually takes you to a phase of waiting. So you're basically waiting for someone else to do your task. Suppose you really need to submit your electricity document to the office, right? So for that, you really need you are delegating this task to others. So you're basically waiting for that guy to come to you and tell you that, okay, that the submission is done, and these are the things and these are the more things that I need from you, right? So you are actually waiting for someone else. So this basically goes to this waiting state that you see right now. I'm just showing it on my screen, you see, right? And there, if you're not delegating it, you defer it, like you just put it onto your calendar to a specific time, that, okay, I'm going to do this on the Thursday, and maybe I will be going to nearby electricity office on Thursday, and I can submit my document my own. So I'm just putting this on my calendar. Okay, I'll be going there Thursday at 12 p.m. So I just put this on the calendar, and that's it, right? Or maybe you can put it on the next section. So to do it as soon as you can, right? So suppose it's something that I really need to send a simple email, or maybe a cold email that is there on my inbox lying there on my drafts. I just need to send it. So whenever I actually get some time, I just check my next section. Okay, this is the thing I need to do, and you just blindly do it, right? So because it's going to take more than 2 minutes, that's why you just put it on there. Otherwise you would have sent the email immediately. So right. So this is called the workflow diagram of clarifying. So this is the clarifying. I really like this diagram. This is the best diagram of from the GTD, I would say, for me at least. So Yeah, let's so I hope that this diagram is clear for you, and all the things that you see right now on the screen, I zoomed it in for you, and I hope that it's fine for you, right? So yeah, let me just go back to the original state of my screen, I guess. So otherwise okay, wait, I really hate this. Okay, so yeah, I'm there where I was. Actually, I'm back to its normal place. Okay, let's just read. So one thing I forgot to, it's not like forgot. I actually, did not understand. So delegation takes a very important question as well, which is you delegate when you are not the right person to do the job, right? So you just also ask yourself whether you are the right person to do that job or not. Maybe just submitting that electricity documents is for that I am not really the right person, because it will take more inputs from my side, and it will be a total waste of time if I just go there to myself instead of sending someone who is good with that, and it's his everyday job, right? So uh, I'm just sending the person because, but you need to, keep on waiting for that person, and you just need to track it separately, waiting for, right? But you're still not keeping it in your head, right? Your system is actually keep tracking of all these things. So yeah, you're not actually relying on your head for that. Yeah. Here's a nice quote I really like. It does not take much strength to do things, but it requires a great deal of strength to decide what to do. It's by Albert Herbert. Yeah, it's true, guys. Honestly speaking, sometimes doing things are much more easier than thinking about, okay, I will need to do this thing. Yeah, I just really need to do that. I just really need to go to that office and just submit some files, which is total shit. Why I'm gonna do this, right? So this may sometimes I just victimize myself, guys, honestly so yeah, it's tough actually. Thinking about what to do is the most toughest thing, I would say, instead of just doing the task itself, and I totally agree on that. So here's the way of organizing. So all the things that you see, basically, when you talk about like what's the next action, if it is a project based thing, you can put this action in your project or project plan. So you can just put it into your project list. Suppose you are making a video and you just suddenly remember that I really need to add this element to my video, and just suddenly remember this, and you just need to put this on the project itself, right? So it goes into the project, right? And organization is all about this thing like trashing. So this is called the organization. You're just asking yourself, this is the clarification part. You just there see there, and then you just ask yourself and you just trash it, right? So the moment you clarify this, you need to start organizing things like, okay, I need to trash it now, I need to someday, or maybe reference it. Okay, then maybe you need to put it onto your waiting or maybe calendar or next section. So this is the part of like organizing, right? So here he is going to talk about more about the projects that you see right now. Okay, and let's see how it works out. And I think it has for each and every element, next section, categories and everything. Okay, that's fine, really nice. I talked a lot about this while reading this book. I really need to check that how many pages I really need to read more. So it's around 16 pages, guys, I need to read. So I need to be quick because otherwise I'm going to cross my own threshold of reading time, because it's not really feasible, guys, because I can read faster but I just speak a lot sometimes. When I read something that is totally, I'm a nerd about this thing kind of tough stuff, so I just talk more about it, right? I still, you can see that I'm still speaking. So here he talk about project is all the things he has given a time frame to it, like everything that may take around 1 year or less. You can put it into your project. Maybe if it is a smaller task, like maybe you need to go to the shopping and you need to buy something for today, it's not really I think it's not really a project. But if you're buying for something else, like some of the guests are going to come to your home, and you need to do the shopping. The guest coming to your home can be preparing for that guest can be a project, right? And that shopping might be a subtask of that project, a small section of that project, right? It's kind of like a mini project inside a project, right? So this can happen, right? So I really like this. And but the regular shopping can go to your actual home project that you may have, like you may have a master project as well. So it totally depends upon what's your workflow is, but there is a generalization that he has given here. So here is a very nice thing he said: you don't actually do a project, you can only do action steps related to it. When enough of the right action steps have been taken, some situations will have created that matches your initial uh, picture of the outcome closely enough that you can call it done. So when we can call the project is done, like if someone we if we have imagined some scenarios and it started happening, and that's when we call the project okay, it's done, right? Here is a very important thing. It's a nice thing he says that, and I truly believe that. He says that the digital world paradoxically made organizing reference and support materials simultaneously simpler and more complex. It's quick and easy to capture something from somewhere and copy it somewhere else, but deciding where it goes can be daunting. Given the plethora of parking places available to us and myriad of ways that we might want the information available to others as well as ourselves, the best practice is to keep your digital reference world as simple as possible, and consistently reviewed and purged. So make sure that your digital system is totally as simple as possible. Guys, honestly speaking, I am guilty of making my digital system total super duper complex, and I will try to reorganize stuff. I will try to start from very simple, and I will tweak if it is needed only. Otherwise I won't be doing just for the sake of some book or maybe some other people are doing it right. So I will be following that strategy. A lot of people actually says that you should, your to-do list and each and everything should be according to your needs, not others, right? So I was actually setting it up for the others I would say, but I really need to work on that as it is mine, right? So yeah. here he talks about how to use the calendar, because the reminder can be of two types. Like, one thing is like something that will happen on a specific day or time, or something that needs to be done as soon as possible, right? He says that we don't need to put this task that needs to be as soon as possible, that needs to be done as soon as possible in the calendar, right? So the calendar needs to have three things, like three kind of things that needs to be go to the calendar. Is like, one is time specific actions, another is day specific actions, and another is day specific information. So time specific actions are all these things that needs to be done on the specific day and a time that you know. That suppose you need to wish someone at 12 a.m. At Thursday, so you just put it on into your calendar and you just call that person. Simple, right? Then comes to the day specific action, which is basically you don't know that when that specific thing will happen at this day, but it is going to happen, right? You don't know the time, so you just put it into this day specific action. That suppose you need to get some report. Maybe you will get the report on mail on Saturday, and you just need to download that. So you just put it on the day specific calendar, and you don't need to put any time there, right? So you can just download it whenever it is convenient for you. So you just put it there, right? So yeah, that kind of thing that can be happen there. So then comes the day specific information. So day specific information is like, suppose you need to go somewhere on the specific day, and you just need information about some things, and so you just put it there, right? So this all this information, right? It's all about this kind of like short term memory you are creating on that specific day specific information. So it's like a tickler file that he called, but inside this is it called tickler information, but inside inside of your calendar, right? So yeah. He says that no more daily to-do lists on the calendar. Do not put your to-do list on your calendar. To-do list is something that needs to be done, and needs to be done today or maybe tomorrow, but that's the next action that possibly. So that is your to-do list. So you don't put it on your calendar, right? So he says that I really uses a nice analogy. I will read about it, but there for just your to-do list. So the way he says that, I'm just going to read it. The way I look at it, the calendar should be sacred territory. If you write something there, it must get done that day or not at all. The only rewriting should be for changed appointments. So you change something on the calendar when some appointments has been changed. Suppose you can't really go there, go to that place because that place is suddenly shut down for that day, and it will be temporarily unavailable and open tomorrow. Maybe you're going to go, then you change the thing. Maybe your doctor has rescheduled the appointment with you, and you just needed to change this on your calendar. So these are the events that you basically change. Suppose you had to attend a meeting and that meeting has been postponed, and all of the thing that you need to just reschedule because of that purpose. But you don't put your to-do list on the calendar itself. He says that think of it like a sacred territory. If you put something on the calendar, you have to get it done, or don't at all, right? So it does not take up your mental space. So if you just combine your to-do list there, you will be, your mind will be like occupied with this, like, okay, I really need to go back to that. Maybe did not complete it. Maybe I have to complete this. So these are the kind of things that may happen, right? He says that some light things we may put, like these are the next actions that I will be doing. You can put it on the calendar, but you should take it very lightly. If you just put it just randomly like this, do not take stress about it if you just put it there, right? So that's also important. Here's a beautiful quote by Albert Einstein. I am a huge fan of Albert Einstein, guys. I just adore his work, and a lot of the memes also make out of this. I also enjoy this, but this does not mean that Albert Einstein has a lot of great things in his plate. If you just read about it, you will understand. I have read a lot of articles, and I watched a lot of videos. Maybe that's why I am a fan of him. I did not read any book related to this, but I don't even have any idea if it is available. So, but yeah, here is a quote: everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler, right? Beautiful. So he's given some example of someday or maybe, like you learn to learn Spanish, take a watercolor class, renovate the kitchen, take a balloon ride, build a wine cellar, create your own web page, get a piano, publish your memoir, uh, learn to tango, learn to throw pottery, build a koi pond. So what are the if it is, it doesn't really matter how crazy or maybe possible or impossible it is. So you just put this thing in your someday or maybe list. So this is there for that, right? And he says that you can put some other things, like other type of information like that is similar to someday or maybe, but it needs a review. So these are the things like books to read, wines to taste, recipes to try, movies to rent, weekends trip to take, things my kids might like to do, seminars to take, websites to surf. So you can put all these things. He said that this kind of reminders can greatly expand your options for creative exploration. So having an organization tool that allow you to easily make such lists such as ad hoc is quite worthwhile. So he says that this kind of list really worthwhile because it actually helps you to go for your creative exploration, right? Amazing. Okay, he's going to talk about tickler system and let's see what it is. So tickler file is all about that remind you something at some point in time. Maybe you can put it on your calendar as well. Suppose I need to take the subscription, I need to renew the subscription of some or maybe I need to renew my website, and for that I really need a reminder or something like that. So that you can put it in a tickler file, or maybe you can put it in a calendar, right? So that will remind you that okay, at that date, at that point in time, it will remind you that okay, you really need to get this job done, right? So that is actually tickler file. So if you don't know tickler is like all the thing that is it's like ticking things, when you set something for like in the future and it is ticking, like you set a timer for like 30 minutes, that is also a tickler, right? So we as a software engineer use a lot of this term like tickler, and because I'm a guy who make applications like Android applications, I know that how important it is. So yeah, let's read. So reference materials are all the things that may require you to have in the future. Maybe someday you may need it, or it's just for the reference. So it makes the sense, right? It makes sense. Suppose your school documents, maybe something, maybe your kids school documents, or maybe something that is related to the project that you have collected, maybe all the yens that you have collected when you go to the Tokyo, and you may use it when you go back there. So these are all the things that you keep it on the on your reference system or file, right? So it's there only for that. Okay, let's see the reflect part. Okay, so we have completed like capture, clarify, and only capture and clarify, organize, and then I need to reflect. So reflect is the fourth point, and let's see what it is. So reflect is all the it's kind of like a thing. So he says that it's one thing to write down that you need milk, it's another to be at the store and remember it. Likewise, writing down that you need to call a friend to find out how he is doing after a significant event in his life and wish him well is the different from remembering it when you are at phone and you have some discretionary time. So suppose you need to call a friend and you ask him that how everything is going in his life, but it's one thing, right? And the second and another thing is that just holding your phone, and maybe when your phone is in your hand, when you also have some time, and at that point of time remembering that you may call that friend to ask him how he is, it's totally a different thing. So think about it. If all this context matches and you suddenly remember that okay, I really need that, I really can do this at that point of time, then the magic actually starts to happen, right? So a lot of times we just waste a lot of times without much thinking. Suppose I am just sitting there in front of my laptop sometime doing nothing. Okay, there might be a lot of tasks that I can be doing at that point of time. I'm just wondering what to do sometime. Okay, because I don't know what I can do when I'm just sitting there at my home at my laptop, right? So if I can see somewhere that okay, at home at laptop these are the tasks I can do, I can really pick it up and do it, right? Okay, so this is all about the reflect. your life is more complex than any single system can describe or coordinate, but the GTD methodology creates a coherent model for placeholding key elements which still require attention. So you can't say that okay, I put everything in the GTD method and it does not really need any kind of attention. You really need to give attention to it, right? Most people have some simple components of this in various places, but the contents and utilization of this elementary at best, right? So you really need to keep on reflecting on what you have here. So here one thing I really want to read. The item you will probably review most frequently is your calendar, which will remind you about the hard landscape of the day. That is what things truly here to be handled that day. This does not mean that the contents there are most important in some grand sense, only that they must get done at any point in time. Knowing what has to get done and when creates a terrain for maneuvering. It's a good habit. As soon as you conclude an action on your calendar, a meeting or phone call or the final draft of a report that's due, to check and see what remains to be done. So it doesn't mean that everything that is in your calendar is so much it's the high priority task, right? So things can be happen like it's not always a high priority task whatever is already there in your calendar. So but you really need to most probably review it too often than other tasks, right? After that you need to check your next action list which is there, right? So and see here he says that if you have organized them by context, like at home, at computer, at meeting, so you can like take decision very well, right? And also the projects waiting for the someday maybe list, that needs to be reviewed as well sometime, because otherwise that will take up your mental space. You will suddenly remember that okay, I have a lot of things in my someday or maybe list, I don't know what they're doing, maybe I totally forgot about this, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So a lot of questions or problems may come to your mind, so it's better to review them as well, right? Okay, here he's going to talk about this important thing I was waiting for. That is the weekly review, which I honestly speak I used to do GTD at certain point in my time, but I always used to skip this weekly review. Honestly speaking, guys, I knew that there was the thing that was causing me problem in my system, and that was the thing that was making my system inefficient, but I still did not do. So when I think about it myself, okay, why the hell you did not do it, man? You could have some great system in place, because I did it used to like when I, in like 4 years ago I used to do this GTD, but honestly speaking, guys, I only few certain times I used to just do this weekly review, but not many times. Okay, so that used to create the problem. I used to use the Evernote at that point, for task list and every note and everything. So I still remember this time, and it was fun, right? Weekly review is the time to gather and process all your stuff, review your systems, and update your lists. Get clean, clear, current, and complete. So this is all about weekly review. You are actually reviewing all the stuff that you have done, or all the things that has to be done, or maybe some leftovers and all the things that is there. Because weekly review is really important to, it's like a reset, so resetting the system. It's like a reboot. So you are like running your system for 7 days. If you reboot it, you're going to feel much more calm and clear again, right? So here he says that the more complete the system is, the more you will trust it, and the more you trust it, the more complete you will be motivated, the more complete you will be motivated to keep it, right? So if you trust your system, you will follow this system, and if you follow this system, you will be more motivated to do this, right? So that will help you with this thing. And the weekly review is the master key to maintaining that standard. And if you really want to maintain the standard, you really need to go through the weekly review. Otherwise it will be very soon cluttered. And here he says that instead of yearly, you can use this weekly review to actually being present to your everyday life. So here he gives a very nice analogy that before going to any kind of vacation, we feel super productive in our work. We feel that, okay, these are the things I need to do, these are the things that I needed to do, this is the leftover that I have for my work, I need to complete this, I need to complete that. So you feel that energy going through on your mind when you go through a vacation, when you are going to a vacation. The reason is that when you go to the vacation, you basically go through this step of like clarify, organize, and renegotiate all of the next agreements that you have with you. So that's why you feel that clarity in your mind, right? So when you go to the vacation, and it makes sense, right? Now the last step, engage. Let's see. Engage is the duo in India. If you uh, ask any Indians what's going on, they will say engage. क्या चल रहा है? Engage. Okay. So no, it's fog, I guess. Oh my god. How can I forget? What the hell? I hope any Indians are not watching this video. Anyways, engage is also a duo, fog is also a duo. Let's just read. I don't know why I'm saying this. Sometimes when you read and you some humor, comes to your mind, and you just share this live, and you suddenly remember that, okay, what the hell I just said, that doesn't really make sense. You should not stop your tongue from saying things like that. Even if it roasts you, no problem. Life is simple. So here is a very nice thing. He says there will always be a long list of actions that you are not doing at any given moment. Obviously we have a lot of tasks that we need to do, but it will be there, always there, right? A lot of new tasks will be added, right? Guys, I'll be back in a minute here. So yeah, it's all about that specific point. So he's saying that so how will you decide what to there will always be a long list of actions that you're not doing at any given moment time. So how will you decide what to do and what not to do and feel good about both? The answer is by trusting your intuition. So it's your gut. In the book Start With Why, Simon Sinek also talks about that you need to trust your gut. And even the CEO of Apple, the former CEO, Steve Jobs, late Steve Jobs, actually used to believe that you need to trust your gut or intuition for any kind of things in your life, right? It's always right and comes up with high quality decisions. So yeah, if you have captured, clarified, organized and reflected on all your current commitment, you can galvanize your intuitive judgment with some intelligent and practical thinking about your work and values. So yeah, trust your gut or intuition, whatever you call it, right? So there is a 4 criteria model for choosing actions in the moment. He says there is context, time available, energy available and priority. So context is all about the tasks where the task can be completed better. Suppose I really need to write a mail and I just need to send it. Suppose I am just outside somewhere and it's not really possible for me to do it correct efficiently in my mobile phone. So if you contextualize it saying that PC or desktop, then when you see your list and you see that okay, this can be done better on the desktop, so you're not going to pick up that task. Obviously it will not tell you what to do, it will just set the framework or the for you that what so you can take decisions efficiently. Okay, this is the things that I need to be doing right at that point of time. And also time available. Suppose I really need to write a long article, or maybe I really need to write something that is going to take like 30 minutes, and I don't have that time because I have lined up a meeting after like 15 minutes. So it's not really possible for me to start writing about this thing, right? So you just don't pick that task. Instead you do something else, find something else, right? Then the energy available. Suppose I do really need to write something for 15 minutes, but that needs to be total focused energy I need to put in there. Because suppose I came back from a meeting and I'm just tired, and if I just sit for this 15-minute task for writing this, maybe I have like 1 hour, but the task is like 15 minutes. Obviously I can do that task, but I don't have the energy available to do it. Maybe the context is also right. I'm at the correct place at the correct time. I also have the time available, but I need the energy to write it, right? So that's also available. Really you need to check that whether you have the energy to do that task is not do that task at that point in time or not. I used to make mistakes at this point, guys, a lot, because I need to pick that task where I had no energy to do that task, and I used to feel that okay, I'm following the system very well, I'm following GTD, what the hell, why the hell I won't be able to complete this task. The reason is that I'm picking the task at that point where I don't have the energy, right? So yeah. And also priority. So if you also need to prioritize your task, that okay, whether you need to do that task. If you have like priorities, then you can obviously, if you just if context, time and energy, if everything matches like with 2 or 3 tasks, then you can prioritize this. Whichever is high priority for you, just do that task. Obviously then you don't need to think much about it, right? So if this 4 things are 4 criteria model for choosing any action at that moment, so it's engaging is all about taking the action. So that's the first step, right? I quite like this, right? So these are the three types of works that we come up with, like doing predefined work. So these are the things that is there set up on our calendar, that okay, I will be doing this task and task for today. I will be doing that task in like tomorrow. So this is all the things. Suppose some calls are also scheduled, right? So these are all the things, and doing work as it shows up. Suppose your partner or maybe your loved ones come to your place, and you just need to show them what you do, how do you work. So these are the things that comes to you. You never think about this task or maybe planned about it, right? And defining your work, so it's like all about all the work that you like defines, like clearing up your in tray, your digital messages, your meeting notes. You just define this task. Okay, this is the task I'll be doing today, because this is kind of like a task that comes to you, but you actually define that when and how you are going to need to do this. But in that case, doing work as it shows up. But suppose your partner comes to your place, maybe your loved one comes to your place. You can't really show that, say that okay, I will define what I need to do. You just sit there, I will define, and whenever if it's possible, I will get back to you. You can't really do this with your partner or anything like that. So these are the unavoidable circumstances that happens in our day to day. So he says it's going to come, and we need to trust our system and use our intuition to make a good decision about this, right? So yeah. And here is a very nice thing which I really need to do. You have to use your mind to get things off your mind. So that's really important. You have to use your mind to get things off your mind. So mind will be used to get things off your mind, right? Beautiful. Okay, so here are 6 level for reviewing your own work. Actually, it's all about our life. So he has given like 6 level. One is the ground is like the current action, and the horizon one is like current projects. Horizon 2 is areas of focus and accountabilities. Horizon 3 is goal. 4 is vision. 5 is purpose and principles. So let me break it down for you. Current actions are all the tasks or the things that you need to do. Maybe there are a plethora of tasks like 30, 50, or it doesn't really matter what it is. The number is can be anything. So all the tasks that you need to be completing for a day, or maybe in a week, or maybe in a month. Okay, and then comes the current projects. So projects that you are working currently, like in a 1 year span, that you need to do that is the project. Maybe that can on, and the project can be like small or big projects, like a 1 year project as well. Then comes the areas of focus and accountabilities. It's like all about the interest and roles that you are accountable for. Like you may get into a new job, so it actually shows up all the focus area of your life that you are actually doing this. Suppose you need to do you need to complete those specific projects to actually make specific things in your life. So this is the areas of focus and accountabilities. Then comes that can be anything like health, family, finances, and home environment, spirituality, recreation, etc. So maybe you want to be more spiritual, so you just take up meditation classes, so you just create projects for like that, and that projects actually brings up actually helps you to go from that current project to the areas of focus and accountabilities. Okay, so all this thing pushing you up to that horizon, right? So, and this happens, guys, so don't worry about that. I'm just reading to you. Okay, then comes the goals. So goals are all about the the things that is going to take more than for 2 to 3 years, what you have on your plate, what are the things that you're going to do. So these are the goals. And the vision is all about like after 5 to 10 years, and or maybe in 15 years, what are the things that is going to do. These are all the visions that you have. Suppose you want to do a different kind of things, like you want to change some social things. Maybe you want to do specific things for dog, or maybe you want to do something for the animal, maybe you want to do something for the orphan. So these are the vision that you have, so you just work for that vision, right? And then you have the purpose and principles. So purpose and principles are all about the things like what do you think, why you are doing something you are doing currently, right? Is it for fame, or whatever the reason is, right? Is it for changing the world? Is it genuinely for changing the world? So you ask yourself these questions, right? So this is for the purpose and principle. And why so it's like, this is the big picture view. Why does your company exist? Why do you exist? And what really matters to you, no matter what, right? So what actually matters to you, right? This is the things that is there is a higher purpose, right? And all these things actually pushes to a current simple thing, right? Suppose I am just actually sending cold emails to people just to get their experience to my podcast. Maybe my purpose can be so much higher than that, so that someone can listen to my podcast at some day, and they get inspired to do something to change the world, and there will be a lot of people there who will be there to actually help my vision to push them as well. So maybe my purpose can be high. I'm just giving an example. So your small task actually does matter, guys. So Atomic Habits, when I read, I really like this book for this reason. So yeah, with that we have completed the I don't know why it's not working. Maybe it's more than 2 hours, that's why I can't really stream more. So yeah, with that we have completed the chapter 2 of day 53, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and have a good day. And yeah, we will see you tomorrow. Okay, let me just check if everything is right.